Shalom everyone, this week is going to be the Hilula of Chacham Yaakov Mutzafi from Iraq originally. He was actually born in the year 1899 and passed away in 1983. So it's his 40th year now that we're in 2023 since he had passed away. He's from the elite Talmidim from Iraq originally. He was also the spiritual leader at one stage of the Jewish community of Iraq, just before most of the community had moved to Eretz Israel over there. He was born in Baghdad in Ottoman Iraq, as it's called, and he was the son of another great rabbi, Iraqi Rabbi, Chacham Ezra Mutzafi also, and his naturally his mother was Mazal Tov, was her name. And he started learning at a very, very young age Torah. His education he got from his grandfather, Rabbi Moshe Mutzafi, and he learned in the Midrash Talmud Torah in Iraq at that time, also with the colleague of the grandfather, Silman Mutzafi also. Afterwards, he went to the famous Midrash Bet Zilka, which I've spoken about before, which was headed at one stage by Chacham Abdallah Somech, if you would look back at that specific video over there. And he received education from many elite Rabbanim over there, from a Rabbi Ephraim HaKohen, also Rabbi Shimon Agassi, very famous Rabbi, and Chacham Sadka Hussein also, who very much must be said about him also. And at a later stage, he was a student, a Talmid, of one of the greatest rabbis of the 20th century, one of the greatest, the rabbi who was expert, possibly biggest expert in the world of writing amulets, Rabbi Yehuda Fataya also. And at a later stage, after his learning Torah, he married the daughter of Rabbi Sassoon Dangor, who was actually the founder of the Yeshivat Dorshei Torah over there. And he continued learning along with Rav Silman Ugi Abodi at a later stage. But it was during the 1930s, towards probably the time when the First World War that was starting, when there was a lot of pressure and a lot of people were moving outside of Iraq and many people moving to Israel over there. And at that stage in time, Midrash Bet Zilka was like not in the greatest situation, and he was helping keeping it going, the yeshiva at that stage in time. Yeshiva, which very much I should do relate over a video about afterwards. And after the founding of the State of Israel in 1948, later on he moved to Israel. He moved, and he saw there was not such a viable future anymore in Iraq. And he went initially to stay with his Rabbi Sadka Hussein, who I just spoke about before, in Jerusalem. And he moved there in 1950. And he took up a position as a Chazan and later on a Rosh Yeshiva inside the synagogue called the Shemesh Sadka Synagogue, based in Jerusalem. And in the year 1961, he had like the spiritual leadership of the community, of that specific Iraqi community in Israel over there. And many people, he was adorned at that time. It's the legend says with the jelabiyah and also with fez. And he was gave blessings to everyone. He was resided in the famous Bet Israel neighborhood in Jerusalem. Very, very religious, very Haredi neighborhood. Also, he had many great positions also while he was living in Israel. He was the Av Bet Din of the Sephardi Eda Haredit also, based naturally in Jerusalem. And he passed away in 1983, on May 25th, 1983. So Yud Gimel Sivan is his 40th Hilula this year, from the time of the video, and was buried at Har Azeitim over there. Many other things legacies can be said about this great, phenomenal rabbi. Also, he was a mentor to the Rishon LeZion Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, the great rabbi, who passed away just under 13 years also. And there were streets named after him in Israel, Rabbi Yaakov Mutzafi. For example, in the neighborhood of East Jerusalem, there's a street named after this great rabbi. Also in Beitar Elit, and also in Jerusalem of the neighborhood Ramat Shlomo, another very populated Haredi, also Sephardi neighborhood over there. But so much can be related over within regards to him, the greatness of him. He was also a Dayan. He was a master at Kabbalah also. And he was among the elite Rabbanim in Iraq, the last, before most of the people had moved to Israel at that later stage in time. He had just a couple more rabbis I could mention who had taught him. There was also Rabbi Ephraim Zilka Cohen and also Rabbi Tzadka Chotzin, who I've also spoken about and very much should do a video about him at later stage. Many books were written about him at later stages and is available now online also, and very much I would recommend for everyone to look up on him at a later stage. There was, for example, more books. For example, the Shut Tiferet Yaakov, which was written, the Yeshivot Baghdad. He is very much featured inside there also. And also within regards to, there's just a lot of books online. I would very much recommend researching him and his Hilula. Make his neshama be protecting all of Am Yisrael at this stage. Have a good day and keep listening to the series of the Great Oriental Rabbanim.